Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session of English grammar, we are going to continue with our chapter verb. Now, this is part 3 of this chapter in which we are going to cover an exercise which is based on the chapter verb. It means in this session we will be discussing some questions which are based on this chapter verb or the questions which may appear or which may occur in your examination from this chapter. Okay. So let's begin this session. In this session, we will discuss 18 practice questions of verb. So these are 18 practice questions of verb which we are going to discuss in this session. Also, we'll discuss these solutions along with explanations. It means this session contains solutions of each and every question and along with the explanation. We'll discuss each and every question in detail. We'll see the detailed analysis of each and every question. Okay, so let's begin this session. This session is going to be very important and you can say a beneficial session for all of you because here you will learn various concepts related to verb, the thing which we have already covered. This you can revise in this session. Okay, and also you can analyze yourself how much you have learned from this chapter. Okay, so let's begin the session. So this is question, these are the directions basically which are given to us, which will make us do these questions, or these directions, they will instruct you how to solve these questions. Read this sentence to find out whether there is an error in it. It means these are the spotting errors questions related to verb. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. It means there will be several parts of the sentence, and the error, the grammatical error, is in one part of the sentence only. The number corresponding to that part will be your answer. If the given sentence is correct as it is, now it is also possible the entire sentence is of course correct. In that case, we have to mark our answer as no error. Okay. Now ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. Also, we know well that these are the spotting errors which are based on the chapter verb. Okay. Well, we'll see the question, we'll see the answer, also we'll analyze it in detail with the complete explanation that why is this error in the sentence. Okay, so let's begin this session or start doing the questions. So here we have question number 1. And what is the question? The mother asked the child, why did she cry out in her sleep? If I say, why did she cry out in her sleep? This is the question. Okay, if I ask you what is your name, this is the question. Okay, what is your name? Now, if I say my mother asked me what my name was or what my name is or what is my name. Now, if I write a statement, first of all, if I ask you, suppose there is a person A and he asks a question to B that what is your name? So this is the question which is asked by A to B. Okay, what is your name? Okay, this is the question. This is just an example which I'm giving to you. Now, if A says to B that I remember, I don't remember what is your name, or I don't remember your name. Now, is this a statement or the question? Now, here A is not asking anything to B. He is just confirming to B that whether his name is this or not. Okay, so here he can say, I don't remember what your name is. I don't remember what your name is or was. Okay, is or was. We can write any. Okay, so here we need not write this interrogative mark or the question mark. Why so? Because this is the statement. This is only the confirmation or the statement which A is saying to B that he does not remember his name now. Okay, so in the first part he is asking the question, whereas in the second he is just stating that he doesn't remember his name now. Okay, so there is a difference between the two. In this is the statement, and in this is the question. And also, when we write a sentence in indirect speech, we change the structure of the question, or the question pattern will be converted into assertive structure. Okay, or converts into assertive structure. So here the sentences are, or the options are: the mother asked the child, why did she cry out in her sleep, or no error. So you have to look for the part which contains the error. Okay. Now, if you see the sentence, as I told you, that the indirect speech sentence, or when only a person is stating something, he is not asking the question to another person, there he will write the assertive part of the sentence, not the interrogative structure. Now, the mother asked the child, what did she ask? Why did she cry out in her sleep? Now, here, this statement has been said by someone else. And if someone else is saying it, he's not asking the question. He's just stating what the mother asked his child. Sorry, what the mother asked her child. Therefore, this interrogative structure will be converted into assertive structure. So, the answer will be why she had cried out will be used in place of why did she cry out. Okay, so here this structure, why did she cry out, will be changed into why she had cried out. Now, one more thing. When we have a past indefinite sentence, indirect speech, okay, indirect speech, but we have to convert this into indirect speech. Okay, indirect speech. In this case, this past indefinite converts into past perfect tense. Okay, it converts into past perfect tense. So here, why she had cried out will be the correct answer, because why did she cry out is the past indefinite tense, which will be converted into past perfect tense when we convert the direct speech sentence into indirect speech sentence. And this is the conversion, or this is the indirect speech, as we can see over here. Okay, now let us see the detailed explanation, where the answer is why she had cried out. This is the answer which should be used in place of why did she cry out. So the correct phrase will be why she had cried out. Now let us see the explanation. Direct to indirect speech. First of all, when we convert a direct speech sentence into indirect speech sentence, when we convert a direct question interrogative sentence into indirect speech, we change the word order. Instead of keeping the question form where the auxiliary precedes the subject. Now, we know well that when we write a question, in interrogative structure, the helping verb comes prior to the subject. Of course, we use the assertive, but when we convert that into indirect speech, the question pattern will be converted into assertive structure, where that is the statement form in which the subject will be followed by the helping verb. Okay. Assertion in indirect speech. In indirect speech, the sentence structure should reflect a statement rather than a direct question. Therefore, the auxiliary verb did moves after the question word by. As the subject, she follows the auxiliary. Correct structure. In the corrected sentence, why did she cry out in her sleep, is transformed to the assertive form, why she had cried out in her sleep. Now, did she will be converted into she had. Why, sir? Because we have to convert indirect speech sentence from the direct speech sentence, and in that case, past indefinite converts into past perfect tense within the indirect speech introduced by asked. This maintains grammatical coherence and clarity in the reporting what was asked. Also, when we convert the sentence of past indefinite into indirect speech, it converts into past perfect tense. Therefore, the correct sentence will be the mother asked the child why she had cried out in her sleep. Now, when we convert a direct speech sentence into indirect speech sentence, we have a pattern of interrogative structure. First of all, the said or tell will convert into asked. And after that, the inverted commas, they will be converted in the question words. Okay, that will not be inserted over there. The question word will come as it is. If the question word is not there, we can use, for the helping verb, we can use either if or whether. Okay, now let us move to the next one. So this is the first question that we have done. Now we'll discuss the second question. I asked him that why he was angry, but he did not answer. Okay. Now I asked him, I asked him that why he was angry. Now, as I told you, when we convert a direct speech sentence into indirect speech sentence, we put the commas and the inverted commas in and replace these commas with either if or whether. Okay, in case of helping verb, and in case of question word, we use the question word, but we do not insert that. So that and why cannot come together. In this case, that will be removed. So here the answer will be that is not needed here. Remove that. First of all, now what is the explanation? Because when we convert a direct speech sentence into indirect speech sentence, we should see the two structures of the questions, either the question beginning with helping verb or the question word. If the question is beginning with the helping verb, we need to write if or whether in place of commas and inverted commas instead of using that. And if the question is beginning with a question word, we need to put that question word as it is without using that in place of commas and inverted commas. Original sentence, I asked him that why he was angry, but he did not answer. Corrected version, I asked him why he was angry, but he did not answer. So this is corrective sentence. Usage of that in English when introducing an indirect question, also known as reported speech. We do not use that before the question clause. Instead, we directly introduce the question with the question word. Example: why, what, where, etc. Okay. Word order in indirect questions. When reporting a question indirectly, the word order changes from the direct question. The auxiliary verb, if present, comes before the subject. Comes after the subject. Therefore, the corrected sentences, I asked him why he was angry, but he did not answer. It does not comes before, but after the subject. Okay, there is a little mistake in this. So comes after the subject. Okay, I asked him why he was angry, but he did not answer. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next one. The next question is, I could fly if I will be a bird. Now, if the sentences are of imagination or situations which are impossible or which are next to impossible, which are totally imaginable, or you can say which you can see only in dreams, in that case, we can only use past plus plural form. Also, if we talk about second type condition, okay, second type condition, in that case, the rule is, first of all, we have if clause in which we write the sentence in past indefinite tense. Okay, past indefinite tense, or you can say simple past tense where we need to write subject plus verb second form. And the remaining clause will be in the remaining clause will be in subject plus would plus verb first form. Now, would or could, anything can come over here. Now, if we talk about the type 2 condition, this is used when the situation is imaginary or imagination or imaginary. Okay, so this is just an imagination. Now, if I say I could fly if I will be a bird, this is just an imagination. Obviously, this is the hypocrite situation, or you can say this is something which cannot happen. This is impossible to happen. But I'm just assuming that if I were a bird, so in that case, we can only use past plus plural form. Okay. In the case of imagination, we only write past plus plural form. This is the mandatory part. So past plus plural form. Now here, if I could fly, I could fly if. After if, we can only have past indefinite tense, also past plural form, because this is just an imagination. So here, were will come in place of will be. One more thing is there, that if here we had he, then also we should have written were. Why so? Because we can only write past plus plural form. Okay, so here the correct sentence will be I could fly if I were a bird. So here the answer is if I were will be used in place of if I will be. And the explanation, let us see the explanation. Original sentence, I could fly if I will be a bird. Corrected sentence, I could fly if I were a bird. This will be the correct sentence. Okay. Conditional clause structure in English when expressing a hypothetical or unreal condition, it means which is not possible at all. Often referred to as the second conditional, we use the past tense of the verb to be were for all persons, whether it is I, you, he, she, it, we, they, regardless of the subject. Okay, this does not follow the subject verb rule. It only follows one thing, that is past plus plural form of verb. Modal verb could. The modal verb could indicates the ability or possibility. When paired with the conditional clause, it typically requires the conditional form of the verb to be were rather than will be. Therefore, the correct sentence is I could fly if I were a bird. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. Now, let us move to the next one. I hope this much is clear to you all. Okay. Now, here just notice one thing. For all the persons means for every person, whether there is he, she, it, whatever. We will write he could fly if he were a bird. She could fly if she were a bird. Here, were is the common word to be used. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 4. Never I have seen such a town. Now, whenever we begin a sentence using a negative adverb, in that case, we follow the rule of inversion, in which a helping verb comes prior to the subject. This is the rule. Okay. Now, you can see over here, never I have seen such a town. Now, if the sentence is beginning with the word never, it means this is the negative adverb. So, I have should be replaced with have I. Okay, because helping verb should come prior to the subject. Therefore, the answer will be, as there is inversion in the sentence, have I will be used in the place of I have. Okay. Now, let us see the explanation. Original sentence is, never I have seen such a town. Correct sentence, never have I seen such a town. Okay, so never I have seen such a town should be replaced with the sentence, never have I seen such a town. It means I have never seen such a town. Okay, so here the style of saying that it is just he's emphasizing, the person is emphasizing on the sentence that never ever he has seen such a town. Rule of inversion, when we begin a sentence with a negative adverbial phrase like never, no sooner, rarely, seldom, little, etc., the subject and auxiliary verb must be inverted. Inverted means auxiliary verb comes prior to the subject in this case. This means that the auxiliary verb comes before the subject. Therefore, the correct sentence with proper inversion is, never have I seen such a town. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. I hope you have understood this concept. Now let us move to the next one. The next question, this is question number 5. The owner as well as his servants is honest. Now, whenever we have such a sentence, here we have two subjects. First of all, the owner, this is subject 1, as well as his servants is the subject 2. Whenever we join two subjects with the as well as conjunction, or if you see the verbs, conjunctions like and not, no less than, among, besides, like, unlike, with, along with, together with, if we join two subjects with any of these conjunctions, the verb should be used according to the first subject. Now, the owner as well as his servants is honest. Now here, the first subject is the owner, as well as his servants are the second subject. So is honest, the sentence is absolutely correct, and the answer will be no error. So the sentence is absolutely correct. Now let us see the explanation. The sentence, the owner as well as his servants is honest, does not contain a grammatical error according to the subject-verb agreement rules. Subject-verb agreement with as well as, when two subjects are joined by the conjunction as well as, the verb should agree with the first subject. This should be kept in mind, and this is the very, very important rule. Okay. However, we will discuss this in the chapter of subject-verb agreement. Analysis of the sentence. Sentence, the owner as well as his servant is honest. The owner singular and his servants plural. Now, the first subject is the owner, which the verb should follow. Which the verb should agree with. Okay. So therefore, the given sentence is absolutely correct. The owner as well as his servants is honest. So the entire sentence is absolutely correct. Now let us move to the next one. Here, this is question number 6. In younger days, I could run 4 miles at a stretch. Now, in my younger days means the days when I was young. I could run 4 miles. Now, I could, it means it shows the ability of the past. Now, of course, if I say in my younger days, it means these younger days have been past. Okay. Now, I could run 4 miles at a stretch. At a stretch is a phrase. Could shows the ability of the person in the past. Okay. So, again, the sentence contains no error because the entire sentence is grammatically correct. Okay. Now, let us see the explanation. In this sentence, in my younger days, I could run 4 miles at a stretch is grammatically correct. There is no error in the structure or usage of grammar in this sentence. In my younger days, this phrase is a prepositional phrase that acts as an adverbial phrase, providing information about when the action running took place. I could run 4 miles. This is a simple declarative sentence. I could run indicates ability in the past. At a stretch, this phrase modifies the verb run and means continuously or without stopping. There is a proper subject-verb agreement. I could run. Correct tense usage, past tense or past ability, or past tense for past ability, and appropriate placement of adverbial phrases in my younger days and at a stretch. Therefore, the sentence is grammatically correct. So, the entire sentence is grammatically correct. Okay, so there is no error in this sentence. Now let us move to the next question. The next question is, a great part of Arabia is desert. Now Arabia is a big part. Okay, is a big place. And a great part, suppose this much part. Okay, but this is actually the part of the entire Arabia. But when we talk about a part of something, it is actually uncountable now because that is uncountable. We are saying only a part, but we cannot count it in numbers. Okay. So a great part means a bigger part or the big part of it. Okay. So a big part or the great part is actually one part of the entire Arabia. Okay. So, or of the entire desert. Okay. Sorry, of the entire Arabia. So most of it, you can say. And it is uncountable. If the subject is uncountable, we need to put only singular form of verb. So here, a great part of Arabia, up to this, it is correct, is desert. This sentence is absolutely correct again. Why so? Because we are talking about a part of it, a larger part of it. But that larger part is again uncountable, and uncountable is always considered singular. So it should be followed by singular form of verb only, which is given over here. So this sentence contains no error at all. Okay, now let us see the explanation. You have seen the answer, that the answer is D, there is no error. Now let us see the explanation. The sentence, a great part of Arabia is desert, is grammatically correct. There is no error in structure of usage. Let's analyze the sentence. A great part, this phrase correctly describes a significant portion of something. Of Arabia, this prepositional phrase specifies the location or context. Is desert, here is the singular form of the verb to be used correctly with the singular noun desert to indicate that a large portion of Arabia consists of desert terrain. Okay. There is subject verb agreement. Part is singular, so is appropriately used. Correct usage of prepositions of indicates the relationship between the part and Arabia, and clarity in expression. So therefore, the correct sentence is, a great part of Arabia's desert does not contain any grammatical error. So the sentence which is given to us is absolutely correct. Okay. So here our answer will be no error again. Now let us move to the next one. Now this is question number 8. If Ramesh will be promoted, he will get a higher salary. Now whenever we have the conditional sentence, and in that we have the word if. Okay, this is the conditional word. After this, in the conditional clause, we cannot have any modal. Okay, we cannot have any modal. in the conditional clause. Now the sentence is, if Ramesh will be promoted, he will get a higher salary. If this is will, this part should be in the present tense. So this will should be removed. And we can write if Ramesh is promoted. Therefore, the answer is A. The A part contains the error in which is will be used in place of will be. So will be should be replaced with the word is. Okay. Now let us see the explanation. When we form a conditional sentence, particularly when the condition is hypothetical or uncertain, we use the simple present tense without will. It means we do not use modal in the conditional clause. In the if clause, conditional clause, the main clause, result clause then uses will to indicate the future consequence. Explanation. If Ramesh is promoted, this is the conditional clause indicating the condition that needs to be met for the consequence to occur. He will get a higher salary. This is the main clause indicating the consequence of Ramesh being promoted. It means it is the result of Ramesh's promotion. In conditional sentence like this, we use simple present tense is promoted in the if clause because the promotion is presented at the condition that may or may not happen. The future consequence will get a higher salary is then expressed in the main clause using will. Therefore, the correct sentence should be, if Ramesh is promoted, he will get a higher salary. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Here is the question number 9. The building comprises 6 houses, 3 parking lots, and 1 basement. Now, whenever we have a singular subject, okay, whenever we have a singular subject, we use singular verb with it. Okay, we use singular verb with it. And the verb is singular when we add s or es to it. Okay, after adding s or es to a verb, it becomes the singular verb. Okay. Now here building is the singular subject, whereas comprise is the plural verb. So we need to write singular verb. The first part is the error. Now the error is in part A, where replace comprise with comprises. So this is the error. Now let us see the explanation. The verb comprise means to include or to consist of something. It is used in a specific grammatical construction where the whole comprises the part, not the other way around. Explanation. Comprises is the correct form of the verb here because building is singular now. Here when using comprise, the singular subject precedes it and the list of items that make up the whole, houses, parking lots, basement, follows. We use singular verb with the singular subject. Additionally, I added a comma before and to separate the list of items, 3 parking lots and 1 basement. Therefore, the correct usage should be the building comprises 6 houses, 3 parking lots and 1 basement. Okay, comprises means consists of. Okay, so this building consists of 3 parking lots, 1 basement and 6 houses. Okay, now let us move to the next one. So this was question number 9. Now we'll discuss question number 10. I'm glad that you are here. Now, I am glad is the present tense. That you are here is the present tense. So, I am glad that you are here. The sentence contains no error as the entire part of the sentence is in present tense. So, the sentence contains no error. Now, let us see the explanation of it. Okay. So, I, subject pronoun referring to the speaker. It means I is the speaker of the sentence or the subject of the sentence. M, present tense form of the verb to be agreeing with the subject I, because we know that with I we use M. Glad, adjective describing the speaker's emotion or state. That you are here, subordinate clause acting as the object of the verb I'm glad. Explanation, the sentence is a simple declarative sentence where the main clause I'm glad expresses the speaker's feeling, gladness, and the subordinate clause that you are here provides additional information about what makes the speaker glad. The subordinate clause is introduced by the conjunction that and includes the subject you and the verb phrase are here. There are no grammatical errors in the sentence. It is syntactically and grammatically correct. It means according to subject-verb agreement rule, the entire sentence is absolutely correct, whether we talk about the tense of the sentence or the verb form of the sentence. Okay, so the entire sentence is absolutely correct. Now let us move to the question number 11. The book is written in a simple and lucid manner with a number of well-drawn illustrations. Now, well-drawn is the correct word because illustrations are the noun, which should be qualified by an adjective. Now, well-drawn is actually an adjective. Well-drawn means in a proper manner or in a proper drawing. Okay, which is drawn. Drawn is actually the third form of draw. Draw, drew, and drawn. So we should not write the word drawn. Drawn is not any form because drawn is itself the third form of the verb. Okay. So here the error is in part B, and the error is was here will be it is somewhere wrong here. The error is well drawn should be used in place of well drawn. Okay. Now let us see the explanation. The correct term to use here is well drawn, not well drawn. So this is the correct sentence, and the answer which is written over there is somewhere wrong. Maybe it is typing error. Well drawn is an adjective that means executed or depicted skillfully, especially in reference to illustrations or artwork. The correct past participle of draw is drawn, not drawn. Therefore, the corrected sentence should be, this book is written in a simple and lucid manner with a number of well-drawn illustrations. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 12 now. To be a good leader, one should have the courage to take decisions and being honest. Now, if I say to take decisions, after to we can only have verb first form. This is verb first form. After and, we should have the same tense or same pattern of the sentence. Been is the third form, which is incorrect over here. It should be replaced with be because with to we can only have verb first form. So here the answer is part C, in which been should be replaced with be. Okay. Now let us see the explanation. In the sentence, the phrase and being honest is incorrect because been is the correct form of verb to be used here. Been is not the correct form to be used here. The correct form should be the infinitive form, that is be, not the past participle been. The error in the original sentence using been instead of using be ensures correct form of to be a good leader. This is an introductory phrase that sees the context. One should have the courage to take decisions. This is a clause that describes a quality expected in a good leader. And be honest. This is another clause that adds another quality expected in good leader. In the corrected sentence, be is the base form of the verb to be, which is used after and to maintain the parallel structure while preceding the verb phrase. Have the courage to take decisions. Therefore, the correct sentence should be, to be a good leader, one should have the courage to take decisions and be honest. Okay, so this is the entire explanation of this question number 12. Now let us move to the question number 13. Okay. Question number 13 is, these poisonous gases will affect our health. Now, if you see this word effect is actually a noun. Okay, whereas the verb of it is affect. Effect means influence of something, and effect means to make the influence of something. So the basic difference that this is verb and this is noun. Here, after a modal, we need verb first form. Okay, so this effect is incorrect because this is a noun. We need to put a verb over here. So this effect should be replaced with affect. Okay, so here the answer is replace in part C. C is the correct answer. Replace effect with the word effect. Now let us see the explanation. The word effect is commonly Confused with the word effect. Here is the difference. Effect is a noun, refers to the result or outcome of an action. For example, the new policy had a positive effect on productivity. Affect is the verb, means to influence or produce a change in something. For example, the new policy will affect productivity. In the sentence, the poisonous gases will affect our health. The correct word to be used over here is affect, not effect. Will affect. This indicates the poisonous gases will influence or have an impact on our health. Our health. This is the object of the verb affect, is specifying what will be influenced by the poisonous gases. He corrected the sentence should be, sorry, it is not he. The corrected sentence should be, these poisonous gases will affect our health. Okay. So here effect will be replaced with the word affect because both have the difference in the parts of speech. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now this is question number 14. My brother hanged my clothes. Now, this word hanged. Hanged is basically used when a person is punished to death or he has given the sentence to death. There is a word hang. It has two meanings. One is to give the punishment of the sentence to hang till death. And the another one is to you can say hang the clothes on the or anywhere, or to hang the painting on the wall. Okay. So the forms of hang can be hanged and hanged. Another forms can be hung and hung. Now if we just simply put the clothes on the wall or put the clothes on the door or hang the clothes on anywhere, or you can say hang the painting on the wall. We use this line, that is hang, hung and hung. But if someone has been sentenced to hang to be hanged till death, it should be hang, hanged and hanged. So this is the death part and this is the casual word of using hang. Okay. So of course the my brother has hung my clothes, not hanged my clothes. So this hang should be replaced with the word hung. Okay. So here replace hanged with hung. Now what is the correct explanation? There is a distinction between the verbs hang and hang depending on their usage. Hang, verb past tense hung. This is used when referring to suspending something from the above without causing death. For example, I hung the picture on the wall. Hang, verb past tense hanged. If the verb hang and its past tense will be hanged, this is used specifically in the context of causing death. By suspending someone by the neck, for example, the criminal was hanged for the crimes, for his crimes. In the sentence, my brother hanged my clothes, the correct verb to be used over here is hung, not hanged, unless your brother caused your clothes to suspended to death. Okay, which seems very unlikely. Therefore, the corrected sentence should be, my brother hung my clothes. Of course, your brother is not causing your clothes to be dyed. Okay, so he's just suspending your clothes on the wall. So here, hung my clothes will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 15. We have to return back immediately. Now, return means to give something or to turn back something. We cannot use return back together. Why so? This will be superfluous. Return means when suppose A sends something to B and B returns it, it means B gives it back to A. So give something back to another person, that means returning of something, and back is the superfluous over there. Okay, so here the answer will be B, where we need to remove the word back after the word return, and the correct explanation is the grammatical error in the sentence we have to return back immediately is the redundancy of the word back. The word return already implies going or coming back to a place. Therefore, using back after the word return is redundant or the superfluous. The correct, it is correct. Sentence should be, we have to return immediately. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 16 now. The data shows that the unemployment rate has raised to 6.1%, the highest in 5 years. Now, the unemployment rate has raised, not raised. The unemployment rate has increased. That means we need intransitive verb. Okay, we need intransitive verb over here. And in our earlier session, I told you about the difference between the intransitive verb and transitive verb. With the word rise and raise, rise is the intransitive verb, whereas raise is the transitive verb. So we need to put risen over here, not raised. So the error is in part B, where this raised should be replaced with rising. Okay. So the explanation is, now let us see the explanation. The grammatical error in the sentence, the data shows the unemployment rate has raised, is to 6.1%, is the highest in 5 years, is incorrect verb form raised. In this context, the correct form of verb should be risen, not raised. Rise verb means to grow up or increase. Raise means to lift or elevate something. Here in the sentence, we are describing how the unemployment rate has increased, not how it has been lifted. Therefore, risen is the appropriate verb to use here. The correct sentence should be, the data shows that the unemployment rate has risen to 6.1%, the highest in 5 years. Okay. This is very, very important question again. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 17. The river has overflown its banks. This is very, very simple, and this question has been asked many times in your exam. Overflown is the incorrect verb over here. It should be replaced with the word overflowed. Why so? Because if we talk about water, it flows. Okay. And if we talk about the birds, birds, they fly. Okay. If we talk about the birds, they fly. Whereas water, it flows. Okay. And birds, water flows, birds fly. Second form of fly is flew, and third form is flown. Whereas if we talk about the word flows, the second form is flowed, and third form is also flowed. Okay. Now, if we talk about the water, it flows, and if it is going beyond the banks of the river, obviously it has overflowed, not flown. Flown is actually the third form of fly, which the bird can fly, but not the water. Okay, in river there is water, and not the birds. Okay, so the correct explanation is the grammatical error in the sentence, the river has overflown its banks, is the use of the word overflown. The correct past participle from the verb is overflow, is overflowed, not overflown. Overflow verb means to flow over the brim or the boundary of something. It means the bank of something. Especially water is spilling over the edge of a container or river banks. Overflowed. Past tense and past participle. This is the correct form to use when describing that something has spilled over its boundaries. Also, flown is the past form of the verb fly. The correct sentence should be the river has overflowed its banks. Okay. Now we'll discuss the last question of today's session. That is question number 18. The competitive edge for survival lays in the effective use of information technology. Now I told you about the word lie and lays. There is a word lie, which means situated, okay, or existed. And the word lay, to establish something. Okay. Here we are using the word lay, not in the case of establish, but the competitive edge for survival lies should come over here in place of lays. So the error is replace lays with lies. The correct explanation of this answer is the grammatical error in the sentence is the competitive edge for survival lays in the effective use is the incorrect form of the verb lays. Okay, this is incorrect over here. The correct form to be used over here is lies, not lays. Lies is the singular present tense from the verb to lie in the sentence being located or situated. It is used to indicate where something is located, where the essence of something resides. For example, we say the equator lies on the 0 degree latitude. Lays is the present tense of the verb to lay, which means to put or place something down in the sentence provided. The competitive edge is the subject. Lies correctly indicates where this competitive edge is found or situated. And this effective use of information technology is a prepositional phrase that describes where the competitive edge is located. Therefore, the correct sentence should be the competitive edge for survival lies in the effective use of information technology. Okay, so this is the correct explanation of this question. I hope you have got this situation. So this is the entire explanation of the question, and this was the last question of today's session. I hope all these questions were very interesting and you really found them beneficial. And these questions will definitely help you out in finding or learning the concepts, okay, of the chapter work. Okay, so that's all for today. If you want to learn more, stay connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.